Before we begin, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more amazing animated stories.
Station. My name is Emma. I have what appears to be a normal family in a normal suburban town.
I first noticed something was different about my older sister Sophia 3 weeks ago. At first, it was small things.
My parents were oblivious. They were too caught up in their own world to notice what was happening right in front of them.
Then came Sophia, my 22-year-old sister who worked as a marketing consultant at a prestigious firm downtown.
Sophia had never been secretive before. We had always been close. This was new, and it made me wonder.
Sophia was present physically, but her mind was somewhere else. Somewhere she didn't want us to know about.
Her phone became her constant companion. She checked it obsessively, multiple times every hour.
She would disappear for hours in the evening, sometimes claiming she was working late, sometimes claiming she was at the gym.
And late at night, I would hear her on video calls, always speaking in hushed tones, always laughing softly.
I couldn't sleep. I kept wondering who she was talking to, what she was hiding, and most importantly, why she felt the need to hide it.
My parents were clueless. They thought our family was perfect. They had no idea about the secrets being kept under their own roof.
I decided I needed to know the truth. I couldn't ask her directly. She would never tell. So I decided to do something. I watched her from the doorway. She was completely absorbed in her conversation. Whoever this person was, they meant everything to her. From the emotion on her face, it was clear. My sister was in love. Deeply, completely, desperately in love. And that's when she caught me. Red-handed. Spying on her most private moment. She demanded to know what I was doing. She wasn't happy. She was furious. I panicked. I made up a story about losing my headphones. It was a weak excuse. She knew I was lying. She told me to mind my own business. She told me to never spy on her again. And then she closed the door in my face. I felt terrible, not just for spying, but for putting distance between Sophia and me.
That evening at dinner, no one spoke. The silence was deafening. Sophia barely looked at me. My parents were oblivious as always.
Sophia completely shut me out. She barely acknowledged my existence. And I knew I had to make things right.
I lay awake that night thinking about what to do. I had violated Sophia's trust. I had to earn it back somehow. But how?
Then an idea struck me. Brilliant and ridiculous and completely mad. But it just might work. I had a plan. A crazy, elaborate, ridiculous plan. But I was desperate. What if I pretended to be blind? Who would suspect the blind girl of spying? Sophia would feel guilty. She would open.
The next morning, I put on my disguise. I wore the sunglasses to breakfast. It seemed like the obvious place to start.
Everyone immediately noticed. My parents looked concerned. Sophia looked guilty.
Perfect. My father asked immediately what was wrong with my eyes. I had to think fast.
I told them I had woken up with terrible eye strain. The light was hurting my eyes. I needed to wear sunglasses for a few days until it improved.
My mother accepted the explanation without question. She's always been protective. My father seemed skeptical but accepted it.
But Sophia's reaction was the most important. The guilt washed over her face. Her anger toward me evaporated. For the first time in weeks, Sophia was paying attention to me. Not with anger, but with love, with worry.
My plan was working, but it was also making me feel terrible. I was lying to people I loved.
But I had come too far to stop now. I needed to know Sophia's secret, and if deception was the only way, so be it. Sophia found me in the hallway. She wanted to help. She wanted to make sure I was okay. And that's when she did something unexpected. She started to open up to me.
From Reese Pulving.
She told me that she had been selfish, that she had pushed me away. that she had been so caught up in her own world
I said nothing. I just listened. And she continued to talk. Her walls were finally coming down.
She told me about Marcus. She told me she had met him 3 months ago at a business charity event.
She said it was love at first sight. The way he looked at her, the way he smiled. She knew immediately that he was different.
He approached her. They talked for hours. She said he was intelligent and kind and everything she had ever wanted.
But there was a problem. And that problem was the reason she had been keeping him a secret. She said Marcus was the son of our father's greatest business rival, that their families were locked in a bitter competitive war for years.
You see, our father had built his entire career on his business. It was his life, his identity, his pride.
Marcus's father had built an equally successful competing company. The two men had been rivals for decades. Their companies fought constantly.
She said our father would never approve, that he would see Marcus as a traitor, that he would see dating Marcus as a betrayal of the family. And she was terrified. Absolutely terrified of losing her family for the sake of love. I stood there listening. My guilt about my deception was growing. I was manipulating her. I was using her vulnerability against. She asked me what I thought. She asked if she thought she was wrong. She asked if she should choose her family over her heart. And in that moment, I realized something. This wasn't about spying anymore. I told her that love was worth fighting for. I told her that her heart deserved to be heard. She cried. But this time, they were tears of relief. I had given her permission to be brave. She said she was going to tell Marcus the truth about the family situation. She said she was going to ask him what his intentions were.
I told her that was brave. I told her that was the right thing to do. I told her I would help her however I could.
We hugged. For the first time in weeks, we were truly connected again. And I felt terrible about my deception.
She thanked me for listening. She thanked me for understanding. She said I had always been her favorite sister.
I smiled and told her I loved her. But inside, I was dying. My deception had become something bigger than I intended.
That evening, Sophia was happier than I had seen her in weeks. She was going to tell Marcus about our family situation.
She texted Marcus everything. She told him about the family rivalry. She told him about her fear. And she asked him if he was strong enough to fight for her.
Marcus replied immediately. He said he was willing to meet her family. He said he wanted to ask her father for his blessing. He said he loved her.
She cried happy tears that night. Marcus was willing to face her family, but she knew her father would never accept.
The next morning, Sophia looked different. There was something in her eyes, a resolution, a determination. She was going to tell them.
My father had no idea what was about to happen. He was just reading about the latest market trends and business news. He had no idea his world was about to change.
My mother was oblivious. She was just making sure everyone had a healthy breakfast. She had no idea.
Sophia took a deep breath. She was about to tell them. She was about to tell our parents about Marcus.
I could feel it coming. She was finally going to tell them the truth about Marcus.
My father noticed something was wrong immediately. He knew our family better than anyone.
Sophia opened her mouth to tell him. She was about to change everything. She was about to tell him she was in love with Marcus.
But before she could speak, our father asked her directly. He demanded to know what was wrong. He demanded to know what she was keeping from him.
The breakfast table suddenly felt like a courtroom. My father's voice had taken on that tone, the tone that meant no lies would be tolerated.
She told him about Marcus. She told him everything. About meeting him. About falling in love.
My father's reaction was immediate, and it was not what Sophia had hoped for. His voice became cold. His eyes became hard.
Things escalated quickly. My father's voice became louder. My mother tried to calm him down, and Sophia's tears began to flow.
He spoke about family honor. He spoke about betrayal. He spoke about how she could choose Marcus over her own family.
Sophia tried to explain. She tried to tell him that loving Marcus didn't mean she didn't love her family. But he wouldn't listen.
And that's when I did something I didn't plan. I stood up. I removed my sunglasses. And I told them the truth.
My confession hung in the air like a bomb that had just exploded. No one moved. No one spoke.
My father looked at me with an expression I had never seen before. It was anger mixed with something else, something that looked like pride.
I told my father that I had deceived him because Sophia's happiness was worth more than his pride. I told him that Marcus wasn't a—
Sophia stared at me with tears streaming down her face. She couldn't believe what I was doing. She couldn't believe I was willing to face our father for her. My father listened. For the first time in years, he truly listened. Not as an authority figure, but as a parent.
The anger in the kitchen began to dissipate. Something was shifting. Something was changing.
My father looked at Sophia for a long moment. Then he asked about Marcus. He asked what kind of man would leave his company to pursue a girl from a rival family.
My father wanted to meet Marcus, not to intimidate him.
but to understand him.
This was progress beyond anything Sophia had hoped for.
Sophia told him about Marcus. She told him how Marcus had said he would face any obstacle for their love. She told him how brave and sincere Marcus was.
My father asked questions, real questions. He wanted to know about Marcus's character. He wanted to know about his intentions towards Sophia. The breakfast table conversation continued for hours. We talked about the family rivalry. We talked about...
My father admitted something he had never admitted before. He said that his rivalry with Marcus's father had been consuming him.
Sophia felt the shift. Her father was opening his mind. He was willing to at least meet Marcus with an open heart.
3 days later, Marcus was coming to our house to meet our family, to face my father.
Sophia was terrified. She had spent hours preparing. She wanted everything to be perfect.
My father was nervous too. He had built an entire identity on his business rivalry. Meeting Marcus meant confronting that rivalry and his own prejudices.
My mother was busy preparing the living room. She wanted everything to feel welcoming. She wanted Marcus to feel accepted.
I sat in my room knowing that my deception had started something important. It had forced my family to face the truth.
When the doorbell rang that evening, the entire house seemed to hold its breath.
My father and Marcus faced each other for the first time. Not as rival sons, but as men.
I could see something shift in my father's expression. He saw in Marcus what Sophia had seen. He saw a worthy young man.
My father shook his hand. It was a simple gesture, but it meant everything. What happened that evening was more than a meeting. It was a transformation. It was a family learning to see beyond its own prejudices. My father and Marcus talked for hours. They discussed business. They discussed values. They discussed their visions for the future.
Marcus told my father that he had left his family's company. He said he wanted to build his own path, separate from his father's rivalry.
My father realized something important in that moment. Marcus wasn't trying to use Sophia. He was willing to sacrifice everything for her.
Sophia was happier than I had ever seen her. She finally had her family's support. She finally had her father's blessing. My mother spent time with Sophia. She was happy for her daughter. She was relieved that her family was united again.
My father asked Marcus about his plans. Marcus told him about starting his own business, about building something new and independent of family competition.
My father told Marcus he respected his decision. He said that building something for yourself was more honorable than inheriting a business built on rivalry.
That evening became one I will never forget. My family came together. Marcus thanked my father. He said it meant everything that he finally had his blessing. He said he wanted to marry Sophia. Sophia's eyes widened. Marcus had just asked her to marry him in front of her entire family. Marcus produced an engagement ring. He dropped to one knee. He asked Sophia to marry him. Properly. In front of everyone.
The ring was beautiful. It was perfect. It was everything Sophia had dreamed of.
Yes! She said yes. Without hesitation, without doubt. She said yes.
My family was complete. Not because I deceived them, but because they learned to see beyond their own walls. That night, my family was different. Stronger, more connected, more honest.
I looked at my sunglasses. The tool of my deception. The thing that started this entire journey.
I realized something profound. Sometimes we have to lie to discover the truth. Sometimes we have to deceive to reveal what's real.
Sophia was happier than I had ever seen her. She had everything she wanted. Love, family, acceptance.
Our family had grown, not just in numbers, but in understanding, in acceptance, in love.
My father began to let go of his business rivalry.
He realized that competition and pride had cost him perspective.
3 months later, Sophia got married. She married the man she loved. With our family's blessing and celebration.
The wedding was beautiful. The love between them was visible to everyone. My family celebrated together.
They exchanged vows. They spoke of love. They spoke of overcoming obstacles. They spoke of family and acceptance.
My family was complete. Not broken. Not divided by pride, but united by love.
At the reception, we celebrated. We danced. We laughed. We celebrated love winning over pride.
My father danced with Sophia, and I saw tears in his eyes. Happy tears.
My mother welcomed Marcus into our family completely. She saw him not as a rival's son, but as the man her daughter loved.
I watched my family celebrate. I realized something important about myself. I had lied to my family. I had manipulated my sister's trust. But in doing so,
My family had transformed. Not because I forced them, but because they chose to see beyond their own limitations.
Life continued. I went back to being a regular teenager. But something inside me had changed.
Sophia and Marcus started their new life together. They were happy. They were free. They were accepted.
We had family dinners. We stayed connected. We had learned to communicate openly and honestly.
My father had changed. He was less consumed by business, more present with his family, more understanding of the things that truly mattered.
Sophia had found her happiness. She had found her home in Marcus. And her family had found peace in accepting her choice. I thought often about my deception, about the lie I had told, about whether what I did was right or wrong.
I came to understand that sometimes people need a mirror to see themselves clearly. Sometimes families need something to force them to face their own prejudices.
My family had grown stronger, not because of my deception, but because my deception forced them to face the truth.
Our home had transformed. It was no longer a place of secrets and hidden emotions. It was a place of openness and love.
I learned that deception often reveals truth, that family conflict can lead to family healing.
My family had become what they were supposed to be: honest, open, loving, united.
I had pretended to be blind to catch my sister's secret, but in doing so, I had helped my entire family see clearly.
That's the story of how my lie became the truth, how my deception revealed honesty, how my family learned to love more deeply.
I wrote this story down. I wanted to remember everything. I wanted to understand what happened and why. I wrote about my deception, about why I did it, about what I learned from it.
Our family photo updated. It now included Marcus. It now showed the expansion of our family through love.
We became the family we were supposed to be. Not perfect, but real, honest, loving.
The sunglasses remained. A reminder. A symbol of the deception that revealed truth.
This is my story. The story of how I pretended to be blind and learned to see. How I deceived my family and—
This is my story. The story of my sister's secret, and how I helped her find the truth and freedom she deserved.